Believing that you can't do it, you'll never get things right, things will never work out for you, is not your belief. It's a core belief. It's a wounded core belief. And if it's wounded, we can heal it, which is exactly what we're going to do in this video. Let's clear the core wounds of helplessness and hopelessness. What is a core wound? It is a subconscious wound. It is a wound so deep that our subconscious hid it. When we have beliefs like, I can't do things right, I'll never get it, things don't work out for me, the world sucks. First of all, these are so common. Freaking everybody believes this stuff at some point. Second of all, you don't actually believe this. Not even your mind believes this. This isn't a belief. It's a core wound. And what the core wound is doing to protect itself is it is serving you a belief system that will prevent you from actually touching that wound. Let me explain. You, when you were a child, you should have been protected. We all have experiences where we're not protected for the first time, or something really bad happens, or we try something over and over again and it just doesn't work out. When these things occur, we end up with a wound that's not this surface wound, like, oh, I fell over once. We end up with a wound that's like, oh, the entire world sucks. You never experienced that the entire world sucked. You never experienced that you can't literally do anything right. What did you experience? Here's where we go into the spiral. All right, so stay with me. What you actually experienced was something that is now a memory, maybe it's a hidden memory, but it's an actual experience you had in your life that was so painful at the time you had it that your subconscious literally couldn't deal with it. So maybe it couldn't deal with it because you were too young. Maybe it couldn't deal with it because you didn't have the support system around you. Or maybe it couldn't deal with it because it was so incredibly traumatic that at the time you were experiencing it, it put you in so much pain, your subconscious literally shut down. Or maybe it was so painful at the time you were experiencing it, the pain is coming out of you, and everyone abandoned you because they couldn't handle the pain that you were in. A lot of different ways we can get these core wounds. The point is, well, you don't have to live with them anymore. We're going to heal them. That's what we're doing right now. But to take things to the next level, we have the core wound, right? You have the bad experience. And so, what happens in the subconscious is what I want you to understand next, because that is the key to healing these things. You don't need to live your life believing you're never going to get it right. First of all, you don't believe it. Second of all, you don't need to hold on to this. And third of all, what is actually in there? What's actually in there is a protective layer. So I have this jar full of pens in front of me. We're going to use this to demonstrate. Now, we don't need all of these pens in here for my demonstration, so I'm going to take everything out except the orange one. Can she do this on camera? Yeah, I can. I can take everything out except the orange one, and those ones too. Fine. All right, so those look interesting. And we are going to say these are all memories inside of our core wound. Maybe we had a memory, this one's kind of sticking out, so maybe we remember this one a little bit sometimes. And this one's purple, and maybe this is like a sad memory. And this one's orange, and ooh, that's a traumatic one, and we never look at that. So what do you have here? They're in a jar. They're protected. When you want to do something that involves the old mental path, for example, you want to do some orange stuff, you want to do the kind of thing that caused that orange trauma, what's going to happen? No, sorry, you're protected. It's protected. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. Actually, if you want something in there, maybe you can see the tip of that. Oh, you don't like that, right? Put that back. Your subconscious has a protective layer around it. And the way we experience this protective layer, I have to put this down now, is we experience it with conscious, negative core beliefs. Like, I'll never do things right. I just can't get it right. Things don't work out for me. So let's say the orange guy in here is you tried to start your own business or something like that when you were like 7 years old. And let's just say you did that. Like you just had the entrepreneurial mindset. You're like, I'm going to start my own business as a 7-year-old, and you got laughed at. You got pushed down by the world, and it hurt so much to put that vulnerable part of yourself out in the world and have it get hurt that your subconscious said, you know what, we're not just going to hold this out here for anyone to hurt. It's going in the jar. We're not going to let you touch this. So what happens now that you're 37 years old and you want to start your own business? You need to use the brain pathways of starting business. Those are in here. You don't get to create new pathways. You have to either deal with going around this memory and circumventing it and knowing it's part of you knows it's in there for your whole life and never getting there and constantly being waylaid with these negative beliefs that are bouncing you away, or you have to go in there and get it. You have to go past the protections. You have to be brave enough to hold this thing again and go, oh, holy shit, that hurt me so much for my own father to laugh at me wanting to start my own business when he had his own business and I just wanted to be like him. And I spent the rest of my life actually trying to prove to him that I was like him, but also not actually doing this thing because it hurt so much. And I actually couldn't see this. And now that I'm holding this, I remember my sister laughing at me, and I remember my mom not making eye contact with me, and I remember how much it hurt in that moment. And you know what? Maybe I'll just stuff this back in here. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't put it back. But just in case you want to understand what's going on, this jar was never the truth. This jar, all it was doing was saying, don't look in here. Don't touch this. You know, if you just believe you're never going to get things right, it'll just bounce off and you don't have to touch this. If you just believe the world's an unsafe place, then we won't have to touch this. You won't ever try this again because this hurts so much, right? There's a reason why you had to wait all this time to be able to pick up this thing. Why is that? Why did you have to wait all this time? Because when you were young and vulnerable, you should have had the support system around you to help you deal with that pain. Now, if you were really young, you should have had your parents around you. If you were vulnerable, you should have had the community or the structures of the system that you were learning in around you, which we all know, those things fall apart, those things fail, or those things can be predatory. I'm not putting this back, but I'm going to hold on to it. And I guess I'm going to hold on to this. Okay, so you get to the point where you can hold your own pain. You can see it. You can see this memory. Wait, did you just do it? Yeah, you're doing it. So this is the work. This is what you actually have to do. Oh my God, I feel like I need to cry. This is what it takes to no longer be living with the limiting beliefs. Let's just say you're at the point where you're not aware of what's in the jar. You're not aware of what your mind is trying to protect you from exactly. You're not aware of the trauma, but you are very aware that you're trying to do shit and your mind keeps telling you, we will never get things right. There's no point in trying. We can't do this. The world sucks. And what's happening, as you know, is you're trying to use a part of yourself that is sequestered, not safe to touch. So, what happens in these moments is, in my opinion, a little bit harder than finally just like having this in your hand. Like, does it suck to hold previously traumatized version of yourself, hold them in your arms while they cry it out? Yes, but at least you know what to do. You know to hold their hands, you know to feel them. And if you don't know what to do, I'm teaching you how to go through the process of healing your subconscious in your own safe space in my little freebie that you can find on my page. It's just a little email thing that you get that walks you through how to make your own safe space, how to go into your subconscious and heal it. And then if you get my emails, I let you know the next time that we do something live together and we can actually unpack this stuff, talk about it live together. And that's a way of connecting with me, learning more about this process and like what the heck to actually do to heal this stuff, because this is what I teach. This is what I'm an expert in, is unlocking the lid. I wish I had a lid for this, but I don't. The lid's off. Unlocking your subconscious, how it works, which is doing a bunch of hidden shit to you, so that you can actually, hey, I can start my own business. Hey, I don't have to be sad about, oh, that relationship. Oh my God, my heart hurts, but now you can feel it, okay? The jar, is serving you. A wounded belief system that protects you from going back in here. You don't actually believe, honey, no part of you actually believes you can't do it, because obviously you did it a few times if you did it enough to get hurt. No part of you believes no one will ever love you. No part of you actually believes that. It's your wound saying, please use this instead of this. So when I say no part of you believes it, like obviously a part of you is shouting that, but what I'm saying is like, that is not the programmed truth that is inside your subconscious, okay? Now, what I would like is to put some of these pins back. We had some colors, right? There was some more stuff going on here. The orange one is gone. I don't know what to tell you. I threw it too far. Most of us have more wounds than helplessness and hopelessness. We have a lot of wounds to different things. And what happens when we have that is we spend our life running circles around those wounds inside our own head. That's what's happening if you've had negative experiences that wounded you so deep, your subconscious would rather sequester them than allow you to actually experience that pain. So that's what you do. You understand your mind has only ever been protecting you. You understand healing your core wounds is the key. You understand that the inside of each of these core wounds is a memory or a set of memories. You understand that the negative limiting beliefs that you have when you get your mind to actually show you what they are, your mind doesn't even always show you what they are. When you get your mind to actually show you what those negative core beliefs are, you need to understand that's not the truth, that's the protection. And you can heal the protection. You can heal the wound. You can heal from anything mental that's happened to you, hidden memories, core wounds, subconscious protective belief patterns. And all you have to do is give your subconscious what it needs to allow these things to heal. I said we're going to heal the core wound of helplessness and hopelessness. So I talked you through kind of what's happening and what you need to do. But what's the helpless part? What's the hopeless part? The helpless part is where we have a negative experience, where we tried to do something and we got negative feedback, it didn't work out, and we internalized it. We started believing there's something wrong with us because it was easier to say, don't ever do something like that again, so I'll stop myself. Or we had this same experience, and instead of blaming ourselves, we blamed the world. And when we blame the world, that's hopelessness. Hopelessness is where we say, the whole world out there, there's nothing good, nothing out there good will ever happen for me, okay? Hopelessness isn't the truth. Helplessness isn't the truth. It is simply a deeply wounded, so wounded, it didn't have what it needed to repair itself, subconscious. You can't blame your subconscious, but it said, you know what, I can't heal this. I don't have the ability to heal this. I don't have the safety to heal this, but you know what I can do? I can make sure we never touch this again in here. And if you're never going to touch it again in here, one way to do that is to blame yourself. And if you blame yourself, you never think down those pathways again. If you think there's no point in me trying something wrong with me, you never go in and touch that wound inside yourself. We also have the external protection mechanism. The hopeless protection mechanism prevents you from doing something in the world that's going to cause that energy to come back to you again. So if you start thinking there's no point out there, you don't have to worry. You're not going to touch that. Your subconscious isn't wrong. It's actually saving you. But it's doing it in a way that's no longer functional. So I would like you to be functional. I would like all your belief systems to be whole, to be healthy, to be healed. And that's where we're heading. That's where we're going. We're healing our subconscious. Did I just say that word? Yeah. Our squishy, weird, dynamic, protective, beautiful, unique own minds together. And that's why I'm here. So thank you for being with me. I love you so much. I believe in you so much. And I just have so much compassion for you if you're healing this stuff with me. And I have so much compassion for myself and for all of us that have gone through this. And I just want to let you know that, like, we're actually moving towards not having to live in hopelessness, not having to live in helplessness, not because the world has suddenly become perfect, but because those things were never the truth. we're going to heal ourselves, and then we're going to see what reality is like once we do. If that's the world you want to be a part of, come join me. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. Hang out with me. Share this video. Leave some positive energy for others in the comments. And I would just love you to be a part of this community. So got your little freebie offer down there for me. I'm going to go. This has been a lovely time that I got to spend with you. And I gotta go because my heart is breaking for all the stuff that we just talked about, like all the hopelessness and all the helplessness in the world, and everybody's hurt by this stuff. And the fact that we get to heal, and the fact that we can heal, and like, this is so beautiful. When you heal yourself, you truly become a safe space for others, and we don't have to perpetuate this nightmare. So it's kind of a big deal. Anyway, I love you. I believe in you. Thank you. And I can't wait to see you in the next one, because this is a series in which we go deep and we heal our core wounds. I'll see you in the next one.